Let's hit refresh. Are we on? Oh, yeah, there we go. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Woo, was that quick? That kind of happened quickly, huh? Nice. Yay. Yay, one thing worked today. One thing. That never happens where it's just like, it just changes over that quickly. And I hope that happened for you. Maybe not. Well, but anyway, welcome everyone to the weekly meeting. Have you missed me? Because I have not done a weekly meeting in 3 weeks, actually, because 2 weeks ago, I hosted a drag show instead. It was Halloween in April, and we did a drag show. So there was no weekly meeting. Instead, we had a drag show. Frankly, I wish we had a weekly drag show. That would really be awesome. But that might be also a pretty difficult thing to manage, especially being mashup specific. So we saved the drag shows for the special occasions. But and then last week I was planning to do a weekly meeting. But then Fox Sounds took the week off, and then I wasn't going to do it. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. But you know what? Let me do it anyway. And then was like, oh, this is going to be actually a horrible idea because of what happened last week. Well, see what happened last week. Last week, I thought I was going to be doing the weekly meeting live from San Francisco. But that is not what happened at all. Instead of flying to San Francisco, and I was like Thursday night, I was packed up. I thought like this time last week I was going to be getting off a plane, would have gotten a shot, and then like did the weekly meeting. That might have been a little ambitious. I might have just canceled the weekly meeting anyway, because it would have been a really, really tight time squeeze to try to like do that. But I had ambitions. But instead what happened was Jupiter Gatling and myself managed to get vaccines here in Germany. We got vaccinated. We got the AstraZeneca shot on Thursday night, literally 8 hours before I was supposed to leave for the airport. It was like I was packed. Like all my suitcases were packed. I hadn't done my toiletries yet, but I was pretty much ready to go because I kind of thought, well, yeah, this kind of sucks. But I have to leave, but I need to get back to San Francisco because I know I can get vaccinated in California like that. I mean, literally get off the plane, go to my Airbnb, drop my bags off, walk to Walgreens, which is like 3 blocks away. It was going to be like that quick. But as it turns out, I don't need to do that anymore, at least not for another month, because the whole goal was we are relaunching Booty Mashup Parties starting on June 19th in San Francisco and July 3rd in LA. I want to be fully vaccinated before we start throwing parties again. I'm hoping most of my audience will be fully vaccinated as well. It sure seems like it because I know in San Francisco right now, I think it's like 85 or 87% vaccinated. LA is also pretty high. California in general is very high. Cinderflame, no news on Seattle yet. Let me get San Francisco and LA relaunched, rebootied, as we're calling it. Let's get those rebootied, and then I can start working on Seattle. We need to find a new venue, although I've got a couple ideas already. I need to coordinate with DJ Freddie, King of Pants, because he's our resident DJ in Seattle. So yeah, let me deal with SF in LA first, and let me deal with getting to California first, because now it's like, oh, I'm here for another 5 weeks, because so yeah, Jupiter. She worked some magic. I mean, the thing is they're nobody wants the AstraZeneca vaccine here because there was some bad press. Some people had adverse reactions. By adverse reactions, I mean they had like thrombosis. So there was a surplus, or there is a surplus of AstraZeneca that is apparently going to go bad unless it gets used. So Jupiter asked around and got us an appointment, and yeah, so we got stabbed, and weirdly. Originally, they said that the time between shots for AstraZeneca was supposed to be 12 weeks. But weirdly, on the day we show up to get jabbed, the doctor's like, because that was a question. It's like, well, how soon can I get my second shot? And there was lots of conflicting information on the internet. Apparently, if I got a Pfizer or a Moderna shot as the second shot, that would be okay. But of course, I wanted to check with the doctor. So I was thinking, well, at least I can get my first shot and then I'll go back. And then in, 12 weeks, I'll get my second shot. At least I'm one shot vaccinated. But no, she was like, you can come back in 4 weeks. And I was like, what happened? And she's like, I don't know. They changed the rules. 4 weeks. I'm like, okay. So 4 weeks. Well, now 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now, we will get our second vaccination. So, and then I'm flying out a week later. So, technically it's 2 weeks to be fully vaccinated, but I have a sneaky suspicion that Jupiter and I are actually both going to need a third shot, because I think 4 weeks after the AstraZeneca is not, on a percentage basis, not as effective as 4 weeks after Moderna or Pfizer. So who knows? We'll probably get a third shot. But I swear, you guys, they are just making up this shit as they go along. I think the reason they said, oh, now it's 4 weeks is exactly what I said. They're like, all these AstraZeneca the vaccines are going to go bad. So unless they use them up, they're like, okay, no, it's 4 weeks. Whatever, I'll take it. I don't care. At least, I just feel so much better. I feel so much better getting on a plane. I feel so much better, being in a public space, throwing a party. I know that I'm mostly vaccinated, at least right now, even with one shot. If I caught COVID, the likelihood of me dying is very, 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 very tiny. And that's all I care about. It's like, I just don't want to die. I mean, I don't want long COVID either, let's face it. But we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And again, I want to assure everybody here on Twitch, this does not mean the end of the channel. Oh, no. This is just literally a new beginning. I've already been chit-chatting with DJ Time. We're so excited about integrating live streaming with a party. I'm sure there's going to be some growing pains with that, but I've got some ideas. I want to bring a green screen to the club and have it be this little corner where people can jump in and green screen themselves into the Zoom and, just weird shit like that. So we'll see what happens. And so I'm moving back to San Francisco. I have a new apartment lined up. The big news with that is it gives me an opportunity to redecorate. I am going to paint the entire living room chroma key blue. Chroma key blue. So not only do I not have to worry about setting up a green screen, and I'm going with blue because I can deal with blue walls, but I really don't want to deal with green walls, but I can deal with blue. So I'm going to do chroma key blue. That means I can also wear green. And then, but also I'm kind of thinking that would be really fun. I mean, sure to have a blank wall, just like this. But it would also be really fun to turn the camera around and kind of have green screen or blue screen, video effects on the walls, the walls are made of kinetic video, and maybe even doing some live streaming type stuff, possibly on my own personal channel. I don't know if the Pootie Mashup channel needs to see me just live streaming, but we'll see. If I'm playing mashups, then I'll, which let's face it, I'm always playing mashups. I'm literally, oh my God, shout out to my DJs and shout out to my Patreon pirates and captains. You guys just got a massive, massive mashup drop. Over 300 mashups in the Mega Mashup Zip Pack. It's crazy. It's been a busy month for the mashup community. There's been several mashup albums, a bunch of people just making really, really great tracks, caught up on some back catalog of some other artists. So yeah, it's just insane. But let me tell you, for those of us on our Patreon, you already know that, yeah, if at a certain level, I put together a whole mashup pack for everyone. But I also, like I said, this is the same like DJ pack that I send to my DJs. It's like, hey guys, hey team, here's a whole bunch of shit. It's all tagged. I don't necessarily love all of it, but there's probably something here for everyone. And I don't know how long he has been doing this. I think maybe just like the past couple months, but oftentimes Lobsterdust on his own Twitch channel will just kind of like go through all of it, like kind of like just a little bit like mashup roulette in a way, and just dig through stuff and like gong show. It's like, do I keep this one? Do I get rid of it? And I love, like, I've already lived with this shit for a month. I love getting someone else's real-time feedback on like, oh, this track sucks. Oh, this track's great. Oh, hey, this is pretty good. So anyway, I love Lobsterdust's channel. Besides our own Booty Mashup channel, obviously Lobsterdust playing mashups all the time on his own channel with his Tibby the Cat Cam. He's one of my favorite. He's turned into like one of my, if not my absolute favorite live streamer on Twitch. Which is crazy. It's been really, really, really fun the past year to watch Lobsterdust come into his own and really embrace live streaming and just kind of have this, like, let me tell you, on Lobsterdust Twitch channel, it's the most I've ever heard Lobsterdust talk. And I've always known Lobsterdust is pretty damn snarky and funny, but he's often like, it's the quiet ones you need to watch out for. But his Twitch channel gives him the platform to just be the snark machine that he is, and I love it, love it, love it, and I'm very happy. He is my special guest on tonight's weekly meeting. Today, wherever you are. It's nighttime here in Berlin. So we are gonna give Lobster a call. Let's get him on the Skype and let's wish him a happy birthday. There's a story there. Oh, here we are. Where are you? Are you there? We need your video. Plop it in. It's getting there.
The password. Okay.
Oh, bam. Oh, there we are. Oh, God. And now you're, okay, you got to switch it. You're horizontal. There we go. You're locked in. Nice to see you, Lobsterdust.
Nice to be here. Hold on.
Are your ears burning? I was singing your praises.
No, you can do that. Hold on. We have a special guest.
Oh, Tibby, the real star of the Lobsterdust channel. Yeah, is she turning into a diva?
She always was.
Always was a diva.
It used to be Ratchet from the streets.
Oh, really?
She would just claw at everything and be very mad at everything.
Oh, is she chilled out? Has live streaming,
when I got her after the shelter, she was such a menace. They actually had to give me a little pamphlet, and it said, feline anger management.
Oh my goodness!
But it worked. Now she's chill.
What is the anger management techniques for a street cat?
This was a long time ago, so I don't remember. I'm sure you can Google it. Feline anger management
Wow.
tips.
Okay.
But she's fine now.
So Jupiter Gatling and I always, of course, we have your channel on in our house quite often, and it's kind of funny because it always seems like what Jupiter and I say all the time. It's like Tibby's over it. Tibby's over it. You know, because you're trying to like get her to do something, and she just will be a prima donna about it. Like you tried to get her to, like yesterday, I was like, you're trying to get her to eat something. And I was like, when does a cat turn down food ever? And she wouldn't eat.
No, here's the thing. She's become very aware of the stream and the cameras. So it takes almost a half an hour to convince Tibby to get on the bed where the studio is.
Right.
It's usually on my bed. But when I went to DJ to San Francisco, DJ Time, I set up 2 cameras in the bedroom because I'm like, Tibby likes. But then she never spent a second in the bedroom. She only spent it in the studio, which means she's playing me. She knows when I want her in the studio. Like, oh, you got to give me stuff. But when I'm not there, she's in the studio.
Wow. And you had a Tibby cam the whole time you were in San Francisco.
I did, and luckily I left one small camera running in the studio.
Right.
But the setup was in the other room because she always goes to the other room when I tell her.
So you put the camera in the wrong room, basically.
Because I thought, well, every time I said let's stream, she goes to the bedroom.
So you figure she's gonna hang in the bedroom. Or maybe
she's just
or was she missing you? And she's like, if I hang out in the studio.
No, if she was missing me, she'd sit where I sleep. Which she did maybe once. But anyway, the point is she knows that it's important for her to be on stream, and she exploits it.
Wow.
The behavior.
Oh my goodness. Well, what I want to know is also like, I wonder, like, I don't I know some like dogs are colorblind. I'm not sure how cats are, but isn't she pretty much just always laying in a sea of green?
Yeah, she kind of
that would drive me crazy. I mean, I'm about to, I'm about to move to a new place, and I was like, oh God, I'm not painting this green. I can't deal.
Here's the scientific proof. When I left, she had 4 days, and she could be anywhere in the house where she wanted. But she picked the studio, which is green. So I guess she does not have
a problem with the green.
Because she voluntarily chose it.
Right. So you I always think of you as being like, you're from Queens. You're from Queens, right? You've been living in New York for, longer. You grew up in Israel. And then you moved to New York. You've now lived in New York longer than you ever lived in Israel. I don't even think of you as Israeli all that much anymore. I think of you as a New Yorker.
Have you seen the news lately? It's a good move, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. For sure.
I made the right choice, I think. I actually started in Manhattan when rent was $700 a month. Mm-hmm. When it got to like 2000, I had to leave for Queens.
Yeah, I hear. But now you're back in Manhattan, right?
Yeah. So what happened? COVID scared away literally everyone in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. So the Upper East Side, which used to be almost $4,000, just became empty, and the landlords are so desperate they will basically give you. For a third of what they usually take.
Right.
And when I went to see the apartment, half the building was empty, and half the street was moving out. So I can understand their desperation.
Damn.
From what I understand now, it's going back because people are like, "Oh, it's over."
Right. Yeah. No.
Doesn't matter. I signed a lease for 2 years. So I have a cheap
apartment.
What's crazy is that it's a 2-bedroom. It's unheard of. A 2-bedroom next to Central Park for less money than I was
Wait,
paying.
are you on Billionaires Row? No, you're not.
No,
You're not that side of Central Park.
no, no. Uh, you walk 2 blocks and then it stops.
Okay,
But
all right. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, keep in mind, Lobster. I moved into like many years ago. I moved into a new building, and this is how they get you. They get you for a cheap price, but then as soon as what?
Can you make yourself a bit quieter and Lobster louder?
Oh, I can, yeah.
Because I need to crank him all the way up.
Oh,
and
really?
Too loud.
Oops, sorry. My producer is telling me I need to turn my mic down.
And make Lobster louder.
Lobster's as loud as he goes.
Okay, then just turn yourself louder
I did.
so everyone else can make you louder.
I got it. Thank you. So yeah, we moved into a new place, and it was like, oh hey, it's super cheap rent. But oh my God, because the new buildings, San Francisco is the same as New York, where older buildings are rent controlled, but the new ones are not. And so my rent pretty much doubled within 2 years.
well, I got this place locked for 2 years, and then we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing is, here's the thing: if I could actually, let's say I made partner.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, after a year of living in lockdown, it's like, who even cares where you are? So if I could just stream with Tibby in the woods with a fast internet connection,
that's the thing. But with a fast internet connection,
that'd be fast. So maybe there's a lot of awesome woods 2 hours from New York City, where you could get fiber. It's just a fucking cable. Just run the cable.
Yeah.
And then it just chill with Tibby and in nature.
Right.
And if I could go to the city, I just drive to the city. I think that's like a 2-year goal.
Okay.
Like I could be financially stable enough where I could just stream and do music and maybe a little bit of freelance.
Yeah.
Once you move out of the city, the rent isn't that crazy.
Yeah. So
or maybe not, and we'll just stay in Manhattan. We'll see.
maybe. So the last time I had you on the show was actually pretty much it was about a year ago. And it was right when we all had just started streaming, and this was all brand new. And now it's like it's I mean, I know it's definitely a huge part of my life. It feels like, I mean, obviously you've got such a whole little setup on your own channel with, Tibby all living in green screen world, and I know you also barely leave your house. Have you really embraced this life now? Things that
Well, I had up until a few weeks ago, I had no choice. Since I'm a high risk, so I couldn't really walk outside.
Right. But now you're vaccinated.
Now I'm vaccinated, so I do go to the park every day. The problem is everybody left, so it's like I'm all by myself.
Oh my God! You mean like friends of yours and
Yeah, everybody.
Crazy.
Well, the city got a little shitty for a while, and people aren't used to that, so they're like, "Fuck it." So I'm gonna have to make new friends, or just keep streaming. I don't know. We'll see.
Or just go crazy and go move to the woods. Be the crazy cat person living in the woods.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, but you.
You're gonna be a crazy cat person. At least be in nature.
Yeah, exactly. But you did get out at least. I mean, it was so nice. It's like birthday time. I don't know what is with all the booty mashup DJs having birthdays in May. Jupiter Gatlings is next week. Mm-hmm. DJ Times was a week ago. Your birthday is actually next week as well, but we're celebrating it this weekend.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's a May birthday celebration.
Yeah. I was like, Jupiter was like, why are you celebrating Lobsterdust's birthday a week early? And I was like, I had it written down for this date, and I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because we didn't want 2 birthdays back to back. or something. There were reasons. I just can't remember what the reasons were. Are you going to party as hard as DJ Time did on his birthday?
I don't. Well, what you didn't see was how DJ Time woke up in the morning after his party, and if you did, you'd maybe reconsider your life choices. Or maybe half the amount of time party. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, I love DJ Time pops into the chat. I didn't go that hard. Yeah.
You didn't go that hard, but you're old now.
Oh.
So what used to be hard is now much harder.
Yeah.
You're different. You're different now.
Crafty Geek wants to know how the view is from your new place, especially now that you're in Manhattan. I mean, I know you did a few.
I've seen that a million times. It's on my Instagram. I even did a balcony stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's definitely a nicer view than. I mean, you did a couple like outdoor, or rather, like, did you do a rooftop stream in Queens once?
This is my balcony.
From your balcony, yeah. And here you don't have a balcony; you just have a window, right?
I have a fire escape.
Well, that's a balcony for New York standards.
Yeah, it's smaller than my Queens one. But when I did my balcony stream, my fire escape stream, the super showed up.
Oh shit!
You're not supposed to be on it. Apparently somebody snitched. And technically, yeah, you're not supposed to stream on a fire.
Specifically, do you have like I don't know how is it for you, but here we have neighbors that hear us live streaming we're live streaming at crazy hours. Do you have any issues with your neighbors since you're like, you're playing music all the time, you're live streaming all the time?
I mean, I had issues in Queens.
Yeah.
There was no noise complaints, which is why I switched to headphones only.
Yeah.
Here, I'm still doing headphones only, and I suspect the apartment underneath me is still empty, which is why I walk around in the wooden floors and nobody says anything.
Right.
But yeah, you can't really blast I was blasting music at like 4 a.m.
I figured.
And then I got the passive aggressive complaints.
Oh.
So I had. Well, they're right. I mean, obviously. Was I wrong? Was I not supposed to do it?
Right.
Was I not supposed to blast music at 4 a.m?
Oops.
On the weekend?
Oopsie. Sorry. So it's been so great to watch your personality really come out much more than it ever used to be. Like you're hilarious, and like, of course I've camped with you at Burning Man. I've hung out with you so many times. A lot of us in our little inner booty mashup circle know how hilarious you are, but so many other people, like when we've had guest DJs meet you, they're like, oh, Lobsterdust is really quiet. Now I don't think of you as quiet anymore. You have pivoted to being like such a culture commentator when you live stream.
Well, it's all about the content. And I watch other streams, and it's like this is a form of DJing that I think every DJ is going to have to learn. On
Twitch, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the huge difference is that it's interactive DJing.
Yes.
Which you never do in the club. In the club, it's like, get the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear your request.
Take the microphone away.
Yeah. But on Twitch, it's the opposite. I want to hear what chat is saying. And chat, you could actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
And, this is what keeps the channel going.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. When we all first started, I think we were sort of feeling around of like, what's the magic formula for like, keeping it interactive, but do you talk? Do you talk more? Do you talk less? Do people like it when you chit chat? And there's definitely, I think, like a little bit of a delicate balance. And for the most part, I think you've kind of nailed that sweet spot.
Well, because I was watching Twitch a long time before Corona. Like the first person I watched was that Tetris guy from the movie
Yeah,
Jonas.
I saw that. I saw that Tetris movie based on your recommendation, actually.
Who, by the way, he died recently.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, he had a brain aneurysm.
He was young.
Yeah, he just dropped dead. I don't know. And apparently that happens, which is like great. I needed to hear that.
Wow.
You could just drop dead at any moment.
I mean, yeah.
So I watched his channel, and I quickly realized it really wasn't about him playing Tetris. It was about him kind of commentating the Tetris.
Right.
Going back and forth with his wife, because his wife was on the stream. And that was really what the stream was about. Less so about his amazing Tetris skills. It was kind of both.
Right.
And you kind of need both. You need like kind of a story or some sort of backdrop to your channel.
Right. Well,
I have Tibby, for example. That's my thing.
Yeah, that's your shtick is Tibby. You let Tibby do the heavy lifting. It's funny because you part of your shtick is that it's all about Tibby, but really, actually, it's all about you. It's you have great you DJ great, and I love the commentary that you have. It's like, I'm sure you probably got the email that I sent. It's like, I love it when you do the whole go through all the tracks just like I did, and offer your very unsolicited opinions on.
I mean, it's kind of like a talk show. Every talk show host has the sidekick to kind of take a little bit of the load off.
Right.
Kind of make it more interesting, but not completely steal the show.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So that's what Tibby's for. She's like my sidekick, but I don't mind her having the spotlight completely and me DJing in the background if that's what people want. I love streaming with Tibby, and I love spending time with Tibby. So that's really what the stream is about.
Kills two birds with one stone.
Like, I love Tibby.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be part of it. That's all.
Now you often stream while you work too, because I know you're a freelancer. Right? Is that right? You're still doing freelance work, right? Here and there.
Yes, it's technically in between.
In between, okay.
Because there's a lot of in between when you're working remotely freelance.
But
like when I had a job, I would take I could take half days off, and then I would half day to stream. But now that I'm back in freelance, it's really, technically, it's like 1 hour of work for every 6 hours of waiting.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
There's lots of time to stream in between.
Yeah, Jupiter Gatling often has similar things with her clients as well. Yeah, you jam it through, send it, and then you're just waiting. Yeah, you wait 6 hours for the feedback. Absolutely. Do you want to tell people what you do?
I do post-production, animation.
Which kind of explains the whole look and feel of your channel with all of the video game, all the kind of video graphics and some of the retro, retro, iconography that you have.
I mean, since it's been my job for so long, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm not on the job, so I like to just I have an idea, I just sit down for 5 minutes, knock it out, render it, boom.
Right.
It's there. It doesn't have to be super overproduced or anything. I kind of want it to look a little janky. So, but definitely, 20 years in the television business, I've learned a little bit about green screening and, and motion graphics and stuff like that. Now, there's a new version of OBS that has a lot more bells and whistles. I might, add a little bit at a time.
Right.
But
yeah, there's always new tricks, new things to play with. Obviously, that's part of what makes live streaming fun.
But again, I always notice there's a lot of really, really good streamers with a lot of viewers where it's just them in a room.
Oh.
It's just a very nicely lit room.
Yep.
And it's just them. And that's all they need. So it's like, you don't really need, it depends. It's, it's a personal preference.
Yeah.
But it's not like you have to have the cliche streamer room with all the bells and whistles.
Right.
And the chair and the computer.
The LED tube lighting in the back. Right. Yeah, exactly. So I just started. I just started taking over the Booty Mashup Post Your Mashups Here group, and in order to kind of just make things easier, you can't. I notice a lot of Facebook groups. I noticed this when we did our synthwave album, and I wanted to post the synthwave mashup mixtape. Of course, to join all these synthwave groups, you have to answer a basic question like who's your favorite synthwave artist. So I was like, okay, well shit, we don't have that set up for our Facebook group. I should do this. So one of the questions is, who's your favorite mashup artist? And so this has only been the past couple days, but I have to say, a disproportionate number, a very high percentage, guess who their favorite mashup producer is?
Girl Talk.
No, Lobsterdust. But this brings me to my next question. When are you gonna start making some new mashups?
I've been making them, kind of on and off, and I've been playing them on my stream. So it's just a question of kind of making that final push, finishing everything up.
The final polish, yeah.
And putting, I'll have to add a couple of new ones because the people on the channel already heard the. But it's not. It's it's not as easy as it used to be.
Wait a minute. No, it's easier. Okay, why do you say?
Oh, no, I mean, technically it's easier. I can knock it out in a few minutes if I had to. But as far as coming up with the ideas that I actually want to do, that's the hard part.
Oh, is it?
Back at the beginning, it was like, I'll do anything. Just I'll just sit there and make any kind of mashup all day. But over time, it's like, no, well, do I really want to make another hip hop mashup? No, not really. So it's like, what do I want to do that I actually want to do?
What's inspiring you? Yeah, well, I know also, like me, you do something similar where it's like you fall in love with something, you discover something, and then you're kind of all in for a little bit, So I know maybe you're just waiting for the next micro genre to come along for you to embrace. You went through your deep house phase, you went through your synthwave phase. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Now I understand all these EDM guys that just stop making music and just hire a bunch of young producers and be
the ghost producers. Yeah.
Here's an idea. I mean, here's what they do. They're like, here's an idea that I had. Here's a very rough demo I knocked out. Now you finish it. But technically, the hard part is coming out with the core idea, right? But the real grind of it is actually making that idea into this polished thing, right? But these guys, they skip that phase. They come up with the idea. Literally, that's how Kanye West does all his albums. I read it. He does a shitty demo. It's not even in on time. The samples are chopped up. Nothing works. It sounds like shit. he gives it to a recording engineer or a producer and says, "Here, you deal with it." And a month later, it's like this awesome
Polished
track.
track, yeah.
Anyway, I don't have that luxury, but usually what happens, I'll hear something, I'll get an idea, and then I'll jump on the computer and then I'll just do it for like a day straight.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple of those on my hard drive. There's a new one coming out with Mesh of the Titans.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's coming out soon. Like I said, the mashup scene has just been on fire lately. So much good material out there. Some not so good, but yeah, mashup. I keep hearing yeah, that one's coming out. When that's supposed to come out this month, isn't it? June?
They set to May 28th.
Oh, May 28th. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, this month. All right.
And it's a little ironic because now, when I started, it was always like, oh damn, I can't get this a cappella, or I can't get this, or I can't get that.
Right.
Now we literally can do anything, and it's just too much choice.
It was
like I don't know where to start.
It was easier. It was easier when you were more limited by your options.
Yeah.
Although, come on, you got it.
They have 50 Biggie acapellas, right. 40 Tupac acapellas, 20 Missy acapellas,
right?
2 Killers acapellas, and yeah, now go crazy.
But you gotta admit, a lot of times the acapella extractions, the DIY stuff, doesn't sound as crisp. But it is nice that, like, if you have an idea, you can at least explore it. Whereas before you were like, oh, I've got this idea, but I don't have the sources, don't have the stems, Yeah. What, so it's almost like, it's a little bit like writer's block then, in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way. Also, it's laziness.
Well,
because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's a lot of mashups out there, amazing ideas, but horrible execution.
Oh my God, YouTube is just filled.
An extra 2 days to really go through, and it sucks. You have to literally go tedious. Second by second, and be like, oh, something's wrong here. Let me figure out what's wrong. It sucks. But that's what you got to do.
Well, you don't have to do it. Like I had Logan Mashups was on my channel, was on this show like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and he was like he never spends more than an hour on his mashups. Now, I mean, take that for what it's worth, but not everything needs to be note for note perfect. But some people, there is a reason why your work is definitely stands apart, I think, and why all these people signing up for our Facebook group are name dropping you as their favorite mashup producer.
Well, I'm glad.
but you gotta keep it coming though, right? I mean, and you've had so many issues. It's so weird. We see all these people like a DJ Cummerbun and a William Moranci really blowing up on YouTube, and you see mashups becoming very much a thing on TikTok. And even though I don't think of you as like the old guard, like from the original early 2000s, you've been doing this like. You were definitely part of that second wave that happened in the mid 2000s. So you've gone through it all. You've had your SoundCloud taken down, your YouTube channel taken down. Was there ever a platform where your mashups were safe?
Nope. Right now it's on Bandcamp, but I'm assuming that's gonna go away at some point.
Why do you assume that?
Because other mashup producers have had their account deleted, so
yeah.
I guess
so why are you releasing them? So why are you putting it on Bandcamp and not say on Soundhouse, Soundhouse.audio?
Because I decided to do the whole remastering thing. Bandcamp lets you you can choose your format. Mm-hmm. which Soundhouse doesn't. Plus, Bandcamp lets you name your own price, so that's always nice.
Does anyone actually give you money for mashups on
Yeah,
Bandcamp?
it's not a lot, but it's not bad
Okay,
every
all
month.
right. Because I'm always like zero download. you know.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly understandable, but luckily some people do. So and it goes straight into your PayPal, so
Okay.
that's nice.
Yeah, you
Uh,
did spend. I mean, that was definitely one of your pandemic projects. Was like remastering everything. Did you complete this project? Did you?
Almost. Just got just a couple more, and then we're done.
Okay.
And then I might as well stick all the new ones at the very end.
Right. Are you kind of going in chronological order with your
Yeah,
re-releases? Okay.
it's all chronological. And I am since you mentioned like Cummerbund, One Boy Jew, their mashups they're on YouTube. So maybe it's time to try it again and start uploading everything back to YouTube.
Right.
I mean, there's 400, so I'm not going to make a video. I could do what One Board Jew does, or what a lot of people do, where it's just a still.
Yeah, just the two. There's no shame in that game. I do that too with my own material. It's just like two, album, just some sort of static album art. So there's something. Yeah, because really make.
I am, 'cause I'm, I'm starting to know. Unfortunately, YouTube is the biggest music discovery engine, even though the quality is shit. So I guess I'm gonna have to dump everything I did on YouTube just so it
Right.
exists.
Exactly.
And hopefully they won't delete it like before, but we'll see.
Hard to say. Lewis Wake, who had a relatively new channel, got his YouTube and his Twitter taken down. I think it's one of those things where if you are making money for YouTube, they'll let it slide. But but if you don't have enough view count to make it worth their while, they're just gonna be like, yeah, So who knows?
Yeah, I don't understand why they. I mean, technically, it's the labels that they get to decide.
Right.
So why not just approve everything and get the revenue, which they can do.
Right, which they ostensibly do. I mean, all the song credits are on those
Keep it on
videos.
YouTube, take all the money. Why'd you have to delete it? It's like, it's literally free money for you. Just keep it on the fucking YouTube. Take all the money. I don't want it. Just don't delete my video. But for some reason, some people get deleted.
Well, I mean, I know some artists get a little like, last year's big mashup story of, literally mashup of the year for so many of us was DJ Cummerbund's Devil Whopped Down to Georgia. And the Charlie Daniels band were like, oh, hells no. And they were the ones who got that pulled down. That wasn't a...
Yeah, meanwhile, he still got 100 videos on there.
True.
With all the biggest rock bands in the world. Plus, he got what's it called, a Webby?
Yep.
So clearly, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the industry has to decide: are you okay with it, or are you not okay with it? Because it's mixed signals.
Yeah.
It's like, on the one hand, it's like you're all criminals, and then on the other hand, here's an award for your achievement.
I mean, this is sort of the way it's always been. I mean, there's a reason there's a skull and crossbones in our logo. Is it? It's.
I think because I did study copyright law. I think I know how Cumberbund can get away with it more than the rest of us because he adds that element of comedy.
But you can make that case for so many mashups. I mean,
Well, in his, it's very, very over the top.
Okay.
Because he adds his own background vocals, all those funny samples. He puts himself in the video.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
If he had to battle it out in court, he would have a case. Whereas
Someone being a little bit more.
One Boy Jew, on the other hand, would not have a case because there's like no obvious comedy or commentary to
Right,
it.
sure. Okay. But, yet her channel is quite successful as well. Yeah.
I guess it's what you said. If they look and they see someone has over a certain amount of followers, they're like, all right, we're cool with it.
Yeah, exactly. And really, TikTok is becoming such the platform too for mashups, which is somewhat unfortunate because you only get like a minute,
Well,
but
not starting this week, 3 minutes.
oh, really? They upped it to three
Yeah,
minutes?
and check out DJ Cumberbund's account. He already started uploading 3 minute versions.
Wow. Okay.
But here's the thing. I actually someone sent me a clip. Someone was like, "Hey, check out this mashup. It's and he's like on two turntables, and it's like BG's Nelly, and it's like a million comments. Oh my God, this is amazing. What are you gonna do?
You're
So
getting,
that's
well, I know
thing.
what I do. I bitch about it.
Yeah. So that seems to be the more popular format on TikTok, is to actually pretend you're doing the mashup on two turntables.
Which they're not doing either. I mean, but yeah, I've seen this. I've seen it like with like some dude in a park with like just like a mixer on his lap sitting on a park bench. I'm like,
So what you have is like the bro with the turntables stealing other people's mashups gets tens of thousands of likes and followers. Meanwhile, Titus Jones is getting like 80.
yeah.
It's just not. It has nothing to do with the quality of the mashup. Let's just say.
Right. I mean,
But if I wasn't so lazy, I'd put a mashup on your TikTok every day, because that's basically what you have to do. Is you have to post something every day.
right. Yeah.
And then
I mean, this YouTube was filled with people taking our mashups and making. Oh, did we lose him? Where are you, Lobster? Yeah, we're back. Yeah. Yeah, but those early days of YouTube, I mean, I know you had this issue. So many people in our scene have had this issue where somebody just, slaps, reposts our mashup. They get all the credit. They get all the views. And, the poor mashup producer's like, hey, I made that. I mean, this is sadly one of the, one of the pratfalls of our scene. But I do always feel like there's got to be a way for us to, like, take a little bit more control and get a little bit more, credit for for our theft. All I want is credit for our theft. Taking other people's music. I know it sounds a little hypocritical. It's like, well, you didn't write those songs anyway. But we did have the ideas to put them together.
So yeah, I mean, so basically that's a plan. Put all the mashups on YouTube, then put them on TikTok,
and get paid. And just wait for the money to come rolling in.
You don't get paid. You get paid in attention, recognition, and then people will go to your Twitch channel, for example.
Right, sure.
Or whatever. But no, you're not gonna get. No one's getting money making mashups on YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah.
But they're getting a lot of followers, which you can then convert into something else, like if you go on tour or whatever.
Right. Sure.
But the actual videos themselves don't make anything.
Right. Clifford says getting paid with exposure. Yeah, or merch. Yeah. Yes. Or cat treats. I mean, I know that you always have like fun things on your channel of like Tibby is the most so spoiled. That cat is so spoiled.
True,
yeah.
true. But once we get a sponsorship, then she'll really.
So that's like a real thing. Like there are like cat food sponsorships and things like that. Is that sort of what you're gunning for?
Here's once a cat, because I follow a lot of cats.
As you do, of course.
On TikTok and Instagram. Once a cat goes viral, then every company in the world will start sending the owner everything cat related, in the hopes that they'll get a mention.
Right. Huh.
So yeah, that's basically how it works.
So make Tibby go viral. Well, yeah, you need to make a meme though, don't you? You really kind of need to, like some sort of, little video clip or a little
Yeah,
animated
and that's
GIF.
kind of the trick. I mean, it could be like maybe TB will be the visual for the mashups. I don't know. That could be
Yeah.
something. Uh, maybe TB can pretend to DJ on two
There
turntables.
you
That's what
go.
we do.
Instead of keyboard cat, you got DJ cat.
Yeah, I already have a cat turntable here
Oh
for the cat.
yeah, I used to have that too for my cats.
I'll just get another one, put TB
Right.
there, put some food, and then be like, hey, check out this cat who made a mashup. I don't know. Obviously, you can't force a meme. You just have to keep posting like that guy on the
Oh
skateboard.
yeah, exactly, and hope that something happens at some point. Sure.
Yeah, he actually said he's like, I really didn't want to do a video that day, but I was like, that was my plan to do a TikTok
Every
every day.
day.
So he's like,
Yeah.
fuck it. And then that one that he didn't even want to do became he's gonna be living off of that
Oh
for a
yeah, of
while.
course. I mean that will, he got a free truck out of that. Free truck filled with ocean spray cranberry juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lobsterdust, it has been very great chatting with you. Happy fucking birthday.
Thanks.
For everyone tuning in, Lobsterdust is it's his birthday today. We are celebrating. DJ Time's going to be doing the late set tonight. Airson's going to get us kicked off with happy hour in a few minutes, and then you're doing the 7 to 10 7. Well, 7 to 10 California time. Of course, we all know
Yep.
the New York is the real time zone. So 10 p.m. to 1 in New York. You got anything special planned for your birthday set?
I'll be playing a lot of my stuff, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. You when was the last time you did like a 100% Lobsterdust set?
I've never done that. I always do. I always
Yeah,
mix.
that you've never had like for like say a guest mix or anything like that.
Oh, well, I mean, the mixes on the radio and probably my first booty set, but after that,
Yeah,
nope.
exactly. I mean, it's
I mean, nobody DJs only their stuff. Maybe Dead Mouse. I don't think anybody else.
well, it de-
People always throw in other people's
yeah. I
tracks.
mean, it
Just more
It
interesting.
depends. I mean, I did notice like a lot of the big name EDM DJs now actually play other people's tracks as well. But originally it was sort of like they kind of treated it like as a band. And then like at Booty Mashup, when we would book guest DJs, like they would do one like a full set of only their own stuff. Party Ben was a resident DJ and he practically only played his own shit. you know.
No, I think that these days you mix. I mean, I've seen Skrillex 3 times,
Oh,
and
we do.
he has, and those 3 times he didn't play even
I
one Skrillex.
know.
So that just goes to show, if he doesn't play his
Right,
own shit, then
exactly. All right, well,
well, I can understand of him being sick of it though.
well, I'm glad that you are making an exception for your birthday and that you're gonna, do a mostly Lobsterdust set tonight. Looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, I will let the chat. They can pick their favorite.
Oh yeah, what the chat pod wants, the chat pod gets. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we'll drink. We'll see.
Cool.
We'll see what happens.
Great. Well, happy birthday, Lobsterdust. Thanks so much for joining me on the weekly meeting, and have a great set in 3 hours.
All right.
All
We'll
right.
see you all soon.
Ciao.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Lobsterdust, the man, the myth, the legend. So we are about to get his birthday party started. Let me just change the little go live notification here. Always wonderful to have a nice little chat with the lobster. And we are, let's see here. Yeah, okay, we got all that set. Let me make sure I text Erison. And go. All right. Are you guys ready to party like it's Lobsterdust's birthday? Yes, you are. All right. So anyway, stick around. DJ Airson is up next, and then followed by Lobsterdust, and then DJ Time will be closing out today. And then tomorrow, it's our Heaven and Hell party with myself and Jupiter Gatling, and of course, the Dance Commander Disco, bringing you the Zoom party like they do every weekend. So have a great weekend, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow night, and happy birthday, Lobsterdust. Stick around for Airson. Mwah.